This morning's edition of the Biker Angle. I'm James Hollywood Machikari, and today in the news, we're going to be talking a little bit about the Waco stuff going on. There's been some motions to file, get some indictments quashed, as well as getting some trials moved. Personally, I think they need to put D.A. Reyna right in the fucking corner until he's done with his term and let the new state's attorney get ready to move in there and get these cases solved with all the mess up that this dude's made over the past 3 years for his personal freaking advancement. Those that follow the Waco incident down there between the Bandidos and Cossacks, where the DA arrested over 177 people for bullshit, and I think it's whittled down to like 25 cases if I'm not mistaken. He finally dismissed a lot of them. So, it's still a mess down there, and something that everybody should be paying attention to, because the more we get this in the news, the better it is for biker awareness, as well as profiling and police misconduct. So, it's real important to keep it in the news. Also, been having a little trouble with episode 39 of Motorcycle Madhouse. It was supposed to come out on Saturday, but of course, the damn Spreaker web hosting thing is all screwed up. So, got to re-record it a little bit, and, you know, apologies for that. But Tuesday we did get episode 40 up. That's where I interview one of the guys from the Yonkers MC. Club's been around 115 years, since 1903, and actually started off in 1895 as a bicycle club. So, real good interview right there. A lot of history, as well as how they stuck together all these years, because most of the time, clubs can't even make it 5 years without disbanding. So, it's real cool to talk to a guy and about a club that's been around 115 years. That's just amazing. So, let's get her going this morning. Also, before we do get started, I got a news. Anyway, gonna have a new video coming out about prospecting for a motorcycle club, so look out for that. That should be up in the next day or so. But let's get going here. From Waco, KWTX. There's a hearing on a motion to quash Twin Peaks indictment. It's been delayed. Well, it's only been 3 years, so what the hell's the hurry, right? A hearing scheduled, I believe it was this past Friday, in Waco on a motion to quash the indictment of one of the men re-indicted in May in connection with the Twin Peaks shooting, again, was delayed. Marcus Pilkington was named in a new indictment on May 9th, charging a riot. Yeah, that's their new thing down there. Now they're charging arrest with riot. State District Judge Matt Johnson granted the delay at the request attorneys who wanted more time to prepare a case law brief. Pilkington was one of those bikers re-indicted in the last flurry of indictments in the case, but Paul Looney, his attorney, filed paperwork with the court in June asking the judge to throw the new indictment out. Let's hope this goes through, because you know what? If you actually watch the video from the Waco incident, you can see everybody's running for cover, and half them people didn't do nothing. You know, there's one interesting case that's going to be coming up in my new book about one of those that are actually still under indictment right now, where the police allege he was tampering with evidence and all that crap, where the video straightforward shows he wasn't. It was the cops doing it. But hey, that's Waco, but you'll see that story in the new upcoming book, New Age Biker. So, moving on, the issue, in fact, according to Looney, that each of the newly indicted cases were re-indicted on the same case number as the original case, which Looney says is improper. Well, this is D.A. Reyna's office, man. Everything with him's improper. Quote, a felony case in Texas must be preceded by an indictment, but cannot proceed under two indictments, Looney said in his pleading. An indictment cannot be supplemented or superseded by way of a new indictment, Mooney said. The second indictment named Pilkington, and now you know what, I apologize if I'm butchering your name, man, but I'm just reading it as the article says, charges a completely different offense involving certain different facts than the original indictment, Mooney said. So, Reyna's up to his old shit, but what's good about Reyna is bikers all over Texas got together and they beat this incumbent by 20 points. He got routed. And that's what happens when bikers stick together. They got power, man. We got a power base out there when it comes to these politicians. And sticking together, we need to use it. Another pop in this story. Let's see here. State and Carlisle seek delay in Twin Peaks shootout retrial. Now, this is about Jacob Carrizal, and his first trial ended up in a mistrial. And what was really disturbing about his trial was everybody, I think, but one of the jurors voted for acquittal. And it ended up the juror that voted against acquittal had relations with the Cossacks. So, and he even told the judge this in the very beginning. But he was allowed to sit on the jury. So, how the hell is that fair and how the hell is that justice? Think about that. Prosecutors and an attorney for Jacob Carrizal have agreed to postpone the retrial of the Twin Peaks biker shootout defendant, which was set for September 10th. In a joint motion for continuance, Robert Mooney, McClellan County First Assistant District Attorney, Chris Lewis, and Carlisle's attorney cite the volume of evidence Lewis needs more time to review, plus evidence federal prosecutors have agreed to share from the trial of two former Bandidos national leaders that both sides want to see. Yeah, it's funny. First trial, this didn't come up. Now all of a sudden that they got Pike and Portilla, they nailed them. Now they want to use the evidence from their trial in this one. Sounds fun. And you know what? They're probably going to try it against the rest of the Bandidos that are charged in this. Lewis signed on to represent Carlisle, the Dallas Bandidos chapter president, shortly after Carlisle's first trial ended in a hung jury and mistrial in November. Carlisle is the first and only Twin Peaks defendant to stand trial so far in the May 2015 shootout that left 9 dead and 20 wounded. He initially was represented by Casey Gautreaux of Houston, who withdrew from the case after the mistrial. Casey's a hell of an attorney, man. She's a fucking pit bull. And we actually interviewed her on Motorcycle Madhouse, so get on over there, listen to that episode. She is a crackerjack, let me tell you. Besides McClellan County prosecutors, attorneys representing defendants in the federal civil rights lawsuits filed over the mass arrest of 193 people, bikers, after the Twin Peaks Incident, also have cited the need to see federal evidence from the Bandidos racketeering case in San Antonio as a reason for postponing proceedings in the civil cases. Defendants in the civil rights lawsuits include McClellan County District Attorney Abel Reyna, former Waco Police Chief Brett Stroman, McClellan County, excuse me, the city of Waco, and other state officials. Those lawsuits remain pending in an Austin federal court. I hope to God that these people have McClellan County paying for the next 200 years for what they did to these people. U.S. District Judge Sam Sparks recently extended a moratorium delaying discovery in those cases for an additional 2 months while authorities wait to receive the evidence from the federal racketeering cases. The motion for continuance filed in Waco's 54th State District Court. State members of the U.S. Attorney's Office in San Antonio are making copies of evidence used in the prosecution of Bandidos Jeffrey Pike and John Portillo, including wiretaps, and are expected to turn it over to the DA's office within a month. Quote, at that time, the DA's office will then turn the evidence over to the defense counsel in discovery, the motion states. The U.S. Attorney's Office for San Antonio has previously stated the evidence they have is potentially inculpatory and exculpatory. Really? Pike, former National Bandidos president, and Portillo, former National Bandidos vice president, were convicted on multiple racketeering charges in May. Yeah, they were, with a whole line of rats coming out, man. Let me tell you. Go to the website. All you have to do is search Bandidos, Pike and Portillo on HarleyLiberty.com, and you'll see all the rats that came out of what was going on there. Even a National Sergeant at Arms turned. Unreal. You know what? The world's upside down now. Judge Matt Johnson has not ruled on the motion for continuance, but court officials said Friday that Moody and Lewis will confer to try to reach a date for Carlisle's retrial. As things stand now, it appears biker Tom Mendez, a bandito from San Antonio, will be the next Twin Peaks defendant to stand trial, unless he accepts a plea bargain prosecutors offered Thursday. His trial is set to start August 27th in 19th State District Court, and he has a pre-trial hearing set for Friday. I wouldn't accept no deal, not in this case, man. Mendez's attorney, Mark Metzger, declined to disclose the terms of the plea offer, as did Moody. However, he said he will discuss the offer with Mendez and let the court know his answer Friday. I gotta look on that, see what it came up, see what we can find out here. Prosecutors re-indicted Carrizal and 23 other Twin Peaks defendants on riot charges and have said they do not intend to pursue the identical engagement in organized criminal activity charges on which 155 bikers were indicted 3 years ago. Now listen to this. Of those 155 cases, all but 27 have been dismissed. 3 of the cases are being handled by special prosecutors appointed after District Attorney Abel Reyna recused his office. Yeah. All but 27 of them charges have been dismissed. You could have, anybody off the streets could have seen that in the video, that they shouldn't have been charged in the first place. But, you know, Abel Reyna was looking to put up his, political ambitions before truth and justice. Sound familiar out there nowadays with these politicians? On Friday, Houston attorney Paul Looney, who represents Twin Peaks defendant Marcus Pillington and Bandido Mexia, asked Johnson to quash the re-indictment against Pillington that charges him with first-degree felony riot. First-degree felony riot they're going after him with. Looney alleges the manner in which the state sought the riot indictment violates accepted procedures, we talked about that above, and asked Johnson to throw it out. Looney charged that prosecutors should have dismissed the original indictment, then sought a new indictment under the new cause number. Instead, Looney argued, prosecutors improperly obtained the new indictment under the same case number and have not indicted which charge they intend to prove or indicated. So, they got a good chance on appeals if something goes bad with this case. Right from get-go. Prosecutors Gabe Price, Sterling Harmon, and Moody argued that prosecutors in this county have followed the same procedures for at least the past 7 years and that the court precedents have said the practice is proper. Johnson, a former prosecutor, said in his many days in the district attorney's office they dismissed the first case before seeking another indictment with a separate case number if they needed the re-indicted defendant. So, Johnson said he would rule on the defense motion within 3 weeks, so if he keeps to what he says, there you go, guys. Pillington, who is serving a 2-year prison term on narcotics and evidence tampering charges out of Limestone County, has a November 26 trial date in Johnson's court. So just by that two things, you can see what's going on in Waco. That's just the tip of the iceberg. Like I said, go to HarleyLiberty.com and you will see the mess that was down in Waco. It is unbelievable what happened down there. And what's even worse is the feds haven't even started an investigation into that DA's office. And well, there is rumors that they have, but anybody on the outside can see how screwed up this was. How the hell on the same day do you start charging over 177 people with a crime without investigation, without evidence, all that stuff? This is America, man. That was a Gestapo fucking action down there. You know, yeah, 9 people died out of there. 4 of whom, I believe, were shot by the damn cops. And people died down there. There should be an investigation. People should be held accountable. But the way they went and conducted this, how do they expect anybody to convict? I don't get it. The misuse of power that happened through this district attorney's office is just, it's outstandingly freaking intolerable. But, you know, unless we keep it out there and in the news, don't let this, it's just going to go away where it's out of the public view. Don't let that happen. Keep pushing it. Everybody on the internet, those who are, you know, the bloggers, who are the video bloggers, need to keep this out there. We need to keep the pressure on these. And as bikers, we should take an example of what happened down in Texas when bikers came together and routed this son of a bitch by 20 points. It's unheard of doing it to an incumbent. You know, Texas is literally quite like Chicago politics are. Up here, we call it the Chicago machine. And it's so damn corrupt, it's laughable. I do not understand Chicago. I don't understand Illinois. How the hell they vote in the same people year after year after year. The taxes are so damn high. It's funny that people even live in Chicago anymore. But they'll vote the same son of a bitches in every time. And then bitch another year later when shit goes bad. You know, I think, what, a pack of cigarettes out there is $15? Shit. Yeah, right. Go fucking vote a liberal and go for it, you dumbasses. But anyway, that's today's biker angle. Like I said, we'll have a prospect video coming out soon. And with that prospect video, I'm going to do a little different thing. I'm actually going to discourage people from doing it because what you're doing, if you don't know what you're getting into, is just giving a club a hassle. So we're going to talk a lot about that. But with that, I'm going to get out there, ride the fucking fat boy a little bit, enjoy the weather. It's supposed to rain next couple days up here in Illinois. So, got to get some riding time in. But for those riding today, stay safe. And watch out for the idiots texting and all that kind of good shit. And we'll catch you later, guys.